Good evening. Good evening. Peace and blessings. It's your boy Jay Taylor. Voices for the voiceless in the back. Okay, okay. Hope everybody enjoying their Friday. Let's talk about it, man. And as the title says, Minnesota is on fire. They release the body cam footage. Rest in peace, Renee Good. And as you know, Renee Good was the young lady that was unalive as she was protesting ICE as they were conducting an operation in Minnesota, Minneapolis, resisting arrest and drove off as the officers were requiring her to get out of her car. Well, when we learned a lot more information about Renee Good, got her name, everything, we got a little, a lot of more information on her. Come to find out, she is 37 years old from Missouri, but moved to Minneapolis. Um, she has three children, apparently. Two were she lost custody of, and she still had one, a 6-year old that was in her custody. Now, that's very interesting that we lay the foundation that her ex-husband had passed away like a year ago. So, you know, one or more of these children don't have a mother or a father anymore. That she remarried to a woman. And the woman that she's married to was actually present at the time of her being unalived. She was there as an agitator as well. Uh, they had the street blocked off. ICE was trying to go, you know, continue on their operation. And they approached her. And we didn't know at the time that she was married and her wife was there, hopped out the car and started filming. Right? So what we know so far is that they were a part of an organization called Ice Watch, which was a leftist radical organization in Minnesota that she moved to Minnesota from Missouri to be a part of this Ice Watch organization. So she was an operative working to distract ICE, damaging information. So the narrative that she was just some uh, innocent bystander, no, her and her wife were there for the specific purpose of distracting or slowing ICE down to be a deterrent. Her child is going to a charter school that specializes in political uh, activism. A 6-year-old child. This is not a coincidence that she was there, right? She's a part of a group called Ice Watch. Her child, 6 years old, goes to a grammar school that's a charter school for political activism. She's married to another activist that's a part of this Ice Watch group who was filming the whole thing as it went down, right? Now, they actually released the body cam footage of the officer that was hit by the car and, you know, essentially was the officer that fired the 2 shots, which ultimately led to Renee Good's unaliving. And when I tell you, when you look at this footage, the footage clearly shows that she knew exactly where the officer was standing. She knew that the officer, I mean, she locked eyes with the officer, smiled at the officer, looked down. You could see her face and everything, throw the car in gear. Her wife was standing outside the car with the phone recording and told her, drive, baby, drive. So she hit the gas, hit the officer let off 2 shots. Now, my take on that is this. Did the officer have the right to defend himself? Absolutely. Now, what we know also about the officer is that 6 months ago, he was in a situation with another protester or agitator, and he had gotten drugged by a car for several feet. And I think I remember seeing that and reporting on that, where they had an ICE officer getting drugged by a protester driving away. So this officer been through this before, right? So he already on edge, I'm assuming, when this lady, he like, hell no, hey, I'm not going through this again, right? So he has a definite case for self-defense. Now, on a personal note, yeah, before we get to my personal thoughts, in a courtroom, a vehicle is seen, in this case, as a weapon that can unalive you. So you got, if you in a courtroom, because you can be unalive by being ran over by a vehicle. And that, that moment, yeah, in the courtroom, he has a defense. That's why I say he's doing his job. This lady was obstructing justice, interfering with ICE operations. They are law enforcement. Not only are they law enforcement, they are federal law enforcement. This guy's not gonna go to jail. He's gonna be chilling. There's nothing gonna happen to him. Especially since this footage came out. Now, once again, rest in peace to Renee. Good. Right? Because this lady, what it seems like, and so many other people in this country are being radicalized by left-wing media and the Democratic Party's politicians. They are being finessed, mentally finessed to come out here and think that they can, obstruct justice against federal officers. Right? Now, my personal take, he didn't have to unalive that lady. Yes, he got hit with the car, and it looked like it was a pretty significant hit. But I think that he could, if he held his restraint, for just my opinion. I'm not him. I'm in that split second. I haven't been through what he been through, even 6 months ago. But I would think if he had enough restraint, he could have, stepped back and just let her drive a little bit and try to just hit the car, but not shoot her point blank range in her face. But like I said, that's just my opinion. But once again, in the courtroom, though, he's justified. In the courtroom all day, he's justified. In a court of law, it's nowhere around it. This body cam footage solidifies that he's not going to be held accountable for this, and that's the unfortunate part, right? And I want to say once again, because I don't celebrate anybody being unalive. The same way when they did what they did to Charlie Kirk, And people sat up there just because they didn't like what he said or what he stood for. They sat up there and mocked that man's death and made fun of his death, even though he was unalive, just for his opinion for the world to see. We need to heal this world and have some more humanity for each other. Just because I disagree with this woman being a leftist Democrat agitator going up against ICE and all of that, I still can have empathy and sympathy for her and her family. We need to get back to that, having empathy for the loss of life. Ain't nobody making fun of this lady, being unalive. She was only 37 years old, a mother, right? But she was radicalized. Let's have a deeper conversation. Now that we kind of got the information out the way, and I have several conversations that with people that want to say, because I'm warning people, and like I said in the last video, ICE is about to step it up 1,000%. ICE, I'm surprised that this is the first incident that I've heard that someone has lost their life down there fooling with ICE. These ICE agents have been getting, spit on. They have been getting shot at. They have been going, man, they've been getting rammed. This ain't the first time they've been getting rammed with cars. Any and everything you can believe. These agitators and so-called protesters have been assaulting these ICE agents. Once again, this is the federal government, right? The same federal government back in the civil rights days was sicking dogs on people, putting water hoses on people, and them people wasn't doing nearly none of this, nothing close to the stuff that these people protesting ICE about. This is the same federal government that got the capacity to blow you down with a water hose and sick vicious dogs on you, set churches on fire. Why would you want to play with these people like this? Now they're down there in Minnesota. You got allegations of billions of dollars that were stolen from the American taxpayer from the Somalian community. It's a lot of other people that's wrapped, other, Democratic politicians and other agencies. It ain't just the Somalians. So let's be clear. They ain't just do this on their own. You got Governor Tim Walz. He just resigned, basically saying that he's not going to run again because he's under investigation. How does your state have $9 to $20 billion in fraud with daycare centers all over your city with no kids in the daycare centers? You talk about feeding our future. You talk about feeding all these people when it ain't no kids in the facility. So you getting billions of dollars from the federal government to fund these programs, and you didn't know. It took a YouTuber by the name of Nick Shirley to go out here with his cell phone, go to these different daycare centers to expose the fact that y'all ain't even got no kids at no daycare centers, but y'all getting hundreds of millions of dollars. And you the governor, and it's been going on for over a decade, almost 2 decades. It took a YouTuber to expose you, Tim Walz, and for you to be like, hey, man, due to all this stuff going on, I'm not even running for governor no more. Fascinating. Absolutely fascinating. But you know what? This is who they out there protesting to protect. People that, this ain't the civil rights movement, dog. People that ICE is out here trying to get people that's in the country illegally. The feds is over there investigating fraud. And I'm so happy that I don't see no black people out there capping for this foolishness. Let ICE do their job. Like I said, it's a wonder why this is the first time that we've hearing somebody losing their life, a white liberal woman that's a part of a radical leftist organization called ICE Watch, to go around and antagonize these people that got a job. See, y'all have been so conditioned by the media that's been telling you that ICE is thugs and and Donald Trump is an illegitimate president, that y'all really believe this foolishness, that you think these people ain't who they are. These are the federal government. I'm watching videos of protesters running up on these ICE agents, trying to take their weapons away from them, trying to throw trash in front of them so they can't go about their business. Get these ICE agents shooting them up with pepper ball sprays and tear gas. Y'all getting it easy. But with the big, beautiful bill finna drop, and this is why I was telling people, leave these ICE agents alone, because they getting tired of this treatment. And basically, if you try, they with the federal government, ain't nothing your local police can do. Stop listening to Tim Walz and these other Democratic sanctuary city people. Don't keep fooling with ICE. They once you push your buttons with the federal government, they basically have a license to unalive you. You cannot assault a federal agent while they, especially if they are in active duty, perform. But you let these Democratic governors and mayors, the mayor of Minnesota got on there and gaslight the whole city of Minneapolis and Minnesota, and said, ICE, y'all need to get the F out of our city and our state. No, they don't. Fed override local and state. You can't kick ICE out. Who is you? Tim Walz threatened to invoke the National Guard. He said he might put the National Guard in Minnesota to fight against ICE. How you gonna get the military to fight against the feds? That sounds like a civil war. This is out of control. Now, if he does that, all Trump gonna do is invoke the Insurrection Act. Now, what that's gonna do is put the National Guard in a position where they're gonna have to choose if they're gonna roll with the president or if they're gonna roll with Governor Tim Walz of Minnesota. Who you think they're gonna choose? Do you think they're gonna go up against their fellow law enforcement and ICE? Well, ICE just doing their dang own job. Tim Walz is an embarrassment, and he's gaslighting people, and people all over social media are falling for this nonsense. He's dangerous. This rhetoric needs to stop. Don't let these Democrats send you off. Let me tell you something. When the federal government, when the federal government or any other law enforcement agency, but especially, we talk about ICE, we talk about the FBI, we talk about Homeland Security. Whenever they come to your town, usually people tend to lay low. people tend to get low. Oh, snap. Ain't nobody trying to beef with the federal government. Everything's shut down. You can't buy a dime bag when people know the feds is in town. But you got people running to have altercations with the federal government. What this lady did, Renee Good, rest in peace. Because she didn't have to lose her life. But when you play stupid games, you win goofy prizes. That's just how it is. I don't know, but I know since I'm a black man in America, I know this. Since my son was old enough to open his eyes, since he was in a car seat riding with me, and I posted this on my page. Since he been old enough to say goo goo gaga, he couldn't even formulate words. Got a baby bottle in his mouth, in the back seat, in the car seat. Since he was that age, in Pampers still. Whenever the police pulled us over, and I got my son with me, I always use that as a teachable moment to teach my son how to deal with law enforcement. I say, look, son, they pulling me over. You pull over nice and slow. You got your seatbelt on. Hey, when you pull over, let the police come up to the car. Make sure your hands are visible. I'm talking to my son the whole time this is happening. I'm like, tell the officer, hey, how you doing, sir? How you doing, officer? What seems to be the problem? You might know what the problem is. Or you might think you know, but just give them the opportunity to tell you, hey, you got a tail light out, or you didn't stop at the stop sign, or, oh, okay, my bad, I'm sorry about that. No hostility, nothing. And the officer, 9 times out of 10, hey, wait for them to ask for your license and registration and all that. Okay, I'm finna grab it right here. It's in the glove compartment. Let them know where you going to get it. Okay, boom, here you go. All right, I'll be right back. Sit tight. Don't make no sudden moves until the officer come back. I'm walking my son through this because as black men in America, my father had this conversation with me. You always want to survive the encounter. It ain't about trying to prove a point or be tough. It ain't about this or that. It's about surviving the encounter. Even if the officer or officers are assholes, you just maintain your professionalism, your level of respect. And 9 times out of 10, whatever the issue, if it's small, they might just give you a warning. Or if they do give you a ticket, be like, okay, thank you, officer, and let them go on about their day. Because you know why? As a black man in America, I already know you got a license to kill. So don't give them a reason. We out here having this conversation openly about Renee Good, and it's a white woman. But the young people are paying attention. So we want to set the right example. Don't let your political beliefs block your rational thinking. Don't let your politics interfere with the fact that this could be a teachable moment for the youth. Black, white, brown, yellow, whoever. Renee Good was misguided. Because if she had any sense, she would have been out them people way at home with her child. Now, That child don't have a mother or a father because she made a conscientious decision to go out there and interrupt ICE. You ain't gonna stop ICE. You might not like them, but trying to stop them going in the street, that's a lose-lose situation. Fight with your legislator. Contact your senator. You got to fight that in a courtroom type situation. Going out here, y'all talking about going out here protesting, y'all wasting y'all time and you're putting yourself in danger. Do you love your children enough to make it home to survive the encounter? Because see, this situation was unnecessary. And that's what we need to be teaching the youth. Take this situation and use it as a teachable moment for young people. But everybody's so fired up. Tim Walsh coming out here, oh, the ICE agent this and Donald Trump that. They are politicizing this tragedy while still playing on the emotions of the people that are they trying to radicalize and go out here and continue to put their life in danger. Now, after the whole situation happened with Renee Nicole Good, that's her full name, Renee Nicole Good, these people still out there protesting. They out there like ICE. Let me tell you one thing. Like I was trying to say earlier with the big beautiful bill drop. Now, ICE is getting tired of y'all. They try to play nice. 2026, ICE ain't finna be playing nice with y'all. They finna be turning all the way up. They about to get a whole lot of money with this big beautiful bill that Trump just dropped. They about to get about 100 to 200,000 more ICE agents on these streets. They about to have way more weaponry. They about to have way more technology. They about to have, y'all ain't seen nothing yet when it come to ICE. Go, if you think I'm playing, go look up what the big beautiful bill about to give these people. They finna be out here nothing short of the army or the navy in these streets. Trump has given them so much money and resources, it ain't even funny. So people up here, trying to come out here and go up against these people, nah. This ain't your fight. And what are you fighting for? Illegal immigrants or people that committed fraud, that stole your money if you're a taxpaying citizen? You don't have nothing better to do in the middle of the day but sit in front of try to block ICE from getting wherever they going. And you got people that's actually defending this. Ain't no defense for this. It's indefensible. Period. My purpose on here was to come here and to tell people to sit this out. If you don't like what's going on with ICE, don't take your dumb butt down there trying to protest and get in these people's business. This ain't our fight. They're looking for illegal immigrants. And if ICE is in town, it's some other federal agencies in town. But hey, don't take my advice for it. You'll see. It's your boy Jay Taylor, Voices for the Voiceless. We love y'all. And until next time, we should see you soon. Peace and blessings.